Today I meet a traveler. His name is Carlos, who come from Mexico. So he come Bangladesh. He want to know our country, culture, and several items. Hi Carlos, I am Shantanu.
Nice to meet you, Shantanu.
Tell me about something you.
Well, this is my first time in Bangladesh. I have several days here traveling with my girlfriend. We are starting a new trip around Asia, and Bangladesh is our first stop in this new adventure.
Oh, thank you. Let's start our discussion. Carlos, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm having a great time with my new friends from Couchsurfing.
Till today you have been to many countries. How many countries you have visited in your life?
With Bangladesh will be my 111th country.
From whom you heard about our country Bangladesh?
Well, I have heard about Bangladesh before in the media, in books, from other travelers who came here. So it's a country that I had heard in different places, especially in the media, I can say.
Living here, it had been a while. Why is future of this country attracted you the most?
Well, I always hear good things about the people from Bangladesh. Like any other people who has been before, they told me great things about the Bengali people, how they treat foreigners and visitors. So I really wanted to see by myself, and also to experience a country that is not very popular, like for tourism. So it's the kind of places that I like to visit. So I think it's definitely the perfect place for someone who is looking something different and unique.
What you do not like about our country?
Well, so far in the 8 days that I've been here, I have almost not found nothing that I don't like. I think so far the biggest inconvenience has been the power cuts that we have around our stay in the country. It happens suddenly, and sometimes it's staying like for more than an hour, so it can cause a problem with the heat. Like we don't have AC or the fan is not working. But so far just that. Everything else is going well. We didn't pick the best moment to visit Bangladesh because it's the rainy season, and sometimes the rain can ruin our plans. But just that so far.
Thank you. How tourist friendly in this country?
I think it's not, well, talking about infrastructure, it's not the most friendly country. It's not the most friendly country for tourism. But I think it's not just about infrastructure, because I've been in other countries where there is a lot of infrastructure for tourism, but the people is not really nice with the travelers. So talking about tourist friendly, I think people is very friendly with foreigners. Talking about infrastructure, well, I think there is some work to do about it.
Will you come back here from visit again?
Oh, for sure. I really hope to come back again. Definitely.
How far you know about Bangladesh?
For a couple of years ago. It's always like I like a lot geography and history. So Bangladesh come time to time when you are reading about Asian history and about geography too. It's famous for being a very populated country. Also in the last years it was in the media because the Rohingya crisis. So it's also a country that is doing a lot for the development about its people. So I really wanted to see it by myself.
The visit you made here, did it change any of your point of view about our homeland?
Actually, yeah. So far, like with the time that I've been here in this country, it's much cleaner than I was expecting to be. Like much cleaner. Before, like a few years ago, I was in India, and India is a very nice country too, but there is a lot of trash in the streets, in the beaches, everywhere. And Bangladesh, so far, it's been a very clean country, like very clean. Like compared with other Asian countries, it's been like a big surprise.
Which food you like the most?
So far, I had tried a little bit of the food, but my favorite has been the seafood that I was eating in Cox's Bazar. Like I think the seafood there is great, has a great taste. And also like street food and the smoothies. It's a country with a lot of fruits, so it's great if you wanna have like a cool smoothie.
How many dishes you tried here and what are they?
Well, I try, yeah, like a bit of everything, like noodles and rice, a lot of curries, fish, which is also great, sweets, which others I try? Yeah, seafood especially.
When someone says Bangladesh, what comes to mind at the first place and why?
A lot of people. Like the first thing that I think when someone says Bangladesh, it's a lot of people, like big population. It's famous for that. So I imagine a big crowd of people in the streets.
I want to know about your country.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Positive and negative things also.
Yeah, sure. Well, Mexico is a very big country with a lot of history too. It's famous for its ancient civilization that inhabited it centuries ago. It's a very rich country in culture, in food. Famous especially for the food. Mexican food is famous around the world for being tasty and spicy. The culture, well, as it's a very big country, there are different type of ways of living in Mexico. In the north, in the south, people have different ways of living. We have different traditions. The most famous day probably that everybody knows, the Day of the Dead, El Día de los Muertos. It's when we commemorate our relatives who already passed away. So we celebrate this day in November 2nd. Mexico is also a country with challenges. We have a big problem about security right now related with drugs, with the trafficking of drugs, drug trafficking. And yeah, well, that's probably the main source of information many people get from Mexico in the media. But Mexico is more than that. Mexico is more than just drugs and narcos. It's a country full of traditions and culture. People is very nice. People is friendly, and yeah, I think it's a country that is wow. It's fantastic. It's my favorite country in the world. I'm very proud for being Mexican, and yeah, I hope many people can visit it and see with their own eyes how beautiful my country is.
Why people visit in your country?
The main attraction, I think, will be beaches and historical sites. It's probably the two main things that people seek when they visit Mexico.
Thank you so much, Carl. See you again.
See you again. Thank you so much.